What I have seen is a 2013 Porsche Cayenne, 3-litre diesel, but it is a Category S write-off, or it was back in 2020. It'd be interesting to find out exactly what the damage was, because look at that. I just think that looks incredible value. It's not really jumping out to me where this would have had the damage for a write-off. This bonnet fitment isn't brilliant. Kind of, maybe it was front end, wants a bit of jigging around, but I think it looks pretty good for what we paid for it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to talk about our lovely Porsche Cayenne that we're raffling off. Some of you may remember the previous video we did on that. It's a Category S car. We didn't know too much about it. We were missing some service history and things like that, but felt like we got quite a good price on it. And obviously we fixed it up. We had the wheels refurbished. We'd done a front differential, if memory serves me. MOT'd it, serviced it, all that good stuff, and we put out a video on that. Now, if you'd watched our video on the Corsa that we had to do some bodywork on, you may have heard that I had some extra information come through about that Porsche Cayenne. And in fact, right here in this envelope is our special delivery from one of the previous owners of this car, Jason, who phoned me up literally the morning after that video went out, the first video, and he said, that was my car. And I was the person that was in that car when it got written off.
It was me that was driving it when it crashed.
Really? So I can tell you all about it, and I've got pictures, and do you know what? I might even have some stuff left over for the car, which is what we have got in here. So we've had an absolutely blinding result there. I absolutely love the fact that the things that are inside this envelope and the car will probably never have met again if it weren't for us doing this video and raffling off this car. Just unbelievable. He said he only started subscribing to the channel a couple of weeks before, and then all of a sudden, up pops his old car. Can you believe it? It's absolutely crazy. So I think before we get into what's actually in the envelope and you know, what's in there, because I haven't actually gone through it myself in detail to see what's there, we'll have a look at the pictures, and I can tell you the story that Jason told me about why this car was written off. So if you've seen the previous video, you'll probably remember that I had my suspicions that this car had had a front end knock because something to do with the bonnet wasn't quite lining up. We still need to play around with that a little bit. It's only slightly off, but just enough to be able to tell. And when Jason, the previous owner, phoned me up, he did confirm this, but it wasn't a car crash as you'd expect. The story that Jason told me is that he was driving this car in quite stormy conditions, and rather than skidding off the road and crashing into another car or anything along those lines, he hit a tree. But not because he was out of control. The tree fell in front of him and he is driven into it. So let me show you the first picture. It looks quite dramatic, actually, I have to say. So here we are. We blurred out the number plate only because Jason did specifically ask, can you blur out the number plate? Because that is his private number plate relating to his initials, and he doesn't want you all snooping around on what car he's got now. So, I mean, really, it's peeled the wing off, like opened it up like a sardine thing. Look at that. So yeah, whole wing has just come off, and there is obviously damage under there, but how much, I don't know. Here's a bit more of a closer-up view. It's really, really minimal. This was obviously a Cat S. You would have thought potentially this could have just been a Category M. I'm not a, mechanic. I'm not a body repair person. I don't know what could be involved here. I imagine there were some crash bar type thingies, but yeah, you can see everything's been peeled off. I don't know if there's a picture of the tree in this, but lots of leaves. Yeah, so looking down into the wing here, you can see there's like an oil cooler type thing here. That is like the headlight bulb type thing. God knows what that is. Something to do with the horn, maybe. Obviously, this whole side's been ripped off. The bumper has been snapped away as well. The corner's gone. It's got plenty of nice tread on this tyres though, so we can't say that was at fault. To be fair, the road doesn't even look that wet, does it? So it wasn't probably raining, it was just the fact that this tree blew down. And then there was a bit of damage on the other side. You can see some foliage in the bumper there. This side's been a bit crumpled in, and no doubt it's had a whole new bumper on there. And yeah, that is it. I don't really think that was too structural at all. Maybe it looks like you can just about see that this side of the bonnet here was maybe pushed down, and maybe when they've brought the bumper back down now, that's why that little bit there, I think, is what kind of sits slightly proud. But, I mean, I'm quite pleased with seeing that. Really ripped a wing off, crunched up some bits, get a new bumper and a new wing, which is no doubt what they've done, repaint it, and I think that is pretty much problem solved. So that is the damage. I mean, I don't know whether you'll be looking at it thinking, God, that looks awful. That's really put me off. But actually I look at that and I think that is like so minimal that I'm surprised it got written off, to be honest. I can't remember when we said this happened. Possibly 2020, I can't remember. We did do a vehicle score check in the previous video, and obviously if you are going to buy any car, whether you're buying it privately or from a dealer, it's always worth doing a check. So I would highly recommend you use vehicle score, use my code SHIFTINGMetal20 and you'll get 20% off. But especially considering the specification on this car and all that sort of stuff, the value of it, why they wrote it off. Perhaps they saw something that we can't see from these pictures, but probably, I would say, that the body shop, the insurance kind of approved body shop, would have just quoted through the roof for this and they would have decided not to do it. So Jason, our viewer, would have had his payout and just gone and got a new car, and that would have been that. So would have gone to Copart, no doubt, and someone would have bought it and it's repaired, and now you can win it for just £2. As far as I'm concerned, that's great news. We know exactly what's happened with the car. There's no kind of questions about what happened. Has it had a bigger hit? Was the engine involved? Were other bigger bits damaged? I think it's actually pretty minimal. But more importantly, what have we got in this envelope? If you remember, we did already have 2 keys, so that was good news. And I don't think we had any service history, so we just gave it a big full service and an MOT, so it was all up together, meaning didn't have service history for it. But you know, that tends to happen with write-off cars. In fact, normally you only got 1 key, but we had 2. But now I can tell you that actually we've got 3, because Jason was able to send us another spare as well. We've got the original folder, which includes all sorts in here. So what have we got here? This is another MOT certificate from 2020 in Bidford on Avon. Look at that, maintenance book for the registration that is on our car. So if we have a look in here, what's our car on? It's on about 128,000 miles, isn't it? So we have got a stamp at 16,483 miles, 40,838 and 56,261. So as far as the book goes, we have 3 Porsche main dealer stamps. So we've still got a gap of about, let's say, 70-ish thousand miles. Maintenance book, we got the assistance book, whatever that means, the owner's manual, a manual for the PCM, a quick reference guide. Bloody hell, there's all the stuff here. Another PCM getting started guide, Porsche centres, and Porsche assistance. I don't know if any of these other bits have... Oh, we have got what we've got here. So, 65,000 when it had his private plate on. So that's another service, and that was done 2019. So that puts us at, what did I say, 65,000. So we're about 60,000 away then, just on another one. I imagine it probably was serviced again in the middle, but unfortunately we don't have paperwork for that. But still, a massive result. We've got an extra key, we've got all the original books, and we've now got another 4 service records that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So that is an amazing result. I have to say a massive shout out to Jason for sending this in. He phoned up and said, I've got all these bits, do you want them? Would you be interested, or do you want me to get rid of them? I was like, no, of course we want them, you know, it'd be great. And it's great to know what's happened with the car as well. I said, just, you know, get it packaged up and I'll send you the money to post it in. And he said, because it's for a good cause, because we're raising money for Jack, he was going to send it in, and he was looking forward to being famous. I don't know how that's going to happen, because we're not going to give out his surname and we don't have a picture of him, and we're blurring his number plate. But still, Jason knows that he's the man. So thank you very much, Jason, for taking the time and effort to package this up and post it into us. So there you have it, our Porsche Cayenne, which I should say is not a Porsche Cayenne S, because I think I did say that in the previous video, and as I'll show you from the messages, Jason did tell me it's not actually a Porsche Cayenne S, it's just a Porsche Cayenne. He stuck an S badge on it. All that goodwill he built up has gone by up-badging the Porsche Cayenne S. I'll be honest, I should have known better, but because we have another Porsche Cayenne floating around here, which is the 4.2 V8, which actually is an S, I confused the two. So it's just your regular Cayenne, but it has got loads of kit on it. Looks great, obviously. And I'm really excited to be raffling it off. It's a guaranteed draw at this point. Tickets are still only £2. We've gone over the minimum amount. It is going to be drawn. You have got, I think, 2 weeks maximum left to buy tickets for this car. So if you do want to find those, you can find them in the description. And buy 10, which will be £20, you'll get an extra 5 for free. And in fact, you could make it even cheaper by getting 10% off using the code Toby10. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is that worse than you thought? Is it better than you thought? Just be interested to hear what you think. Some people are going to look at that, seeing the wing hanging off and think, God, that car looks absolutely ruined. Some people are going to be like, that's nothing. If you're like me and you're very smart, you're like, it's nothing. Let me know. That is it really. Just a very quick video. I wanted to give you an update on this because we did brush on it very briefly in a previous video, but I hadn't really covered it properly and shown you the pictures and talked about it. So there you have it. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. We're getting even closer to that 100,000 mark. And when we do, we're giving away that £4,000 Tudor watch. I don't know where it is. It is still around it somewhere, don't worry. Someone will be winning that. That is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you Thursday. Bye-bye.